there! As you already know, Chromium is a gigantic project, so it's really hard to get involved. You might be overwhelmed by the information. There are a lot of documents to help it, but hard to find out which one is what you want. So I tried to gather 20 great documents for newcomers. Let me brief about them. There are documents explaining general topics. The first document is Inside Look at Modern Web Browser. This document is gold. It's explaining how modern web browser works, such as multiprocess model, navigation flow, compositor, and so on. There are 4 parts, but I think you can skip part 4 as it focuses on optimization practice for web devs. After you read the Inside Look at Modern Web Browser Part 1, it'd be good to read Multiprocess Architecture document. You'll find that browser process represents UI parts of the browser and renderer process draws web pages. This document explains relationships between them more in detail. Actually, this document is a little bit old, but still valid in general. In case you get interested in communication between processes, or need to make a vertical change that needs inter-process communication, Mojo in Chromium is a good document to read. Mojo is Chromium's IPC mechanism. The next document is Layered Component. This document is also old, but still is the most important principle in modularization of Chromium. Shortly, only higher layers can depend on lower layers. This document explains why this is needed and which module can depend on which. In the diagram, you can see Chrome layer, which represents UI, and WebKit layer, which is now Blink layer and implements Web Engine. You may infer that Chrome layer's code resides in browser process and Blink layer's code in renderer process. Between Chrome and Blink layer, there's a layer called Content. The content layer bridges Chrome and Blink layer, so IPC between browser process and renderer process happens through this layer. Not only that, but it also well abstracts complexity of Web Engine so that it can be embedded more easily. If you're more interested in the UI aspect of the browser, this chapter is for you. There's an ancient document named User Experience. It describes UI components of the browser and what's important in implementing them. You might get used to UI glossary with this document, such as Omnibox. The next document I recommend is Browser Window. Browser and Browser Window are main object in UI. This document has good explanation about their relationship. If you want to customize browser UI, this document is must-read. Views is a UI framework used in Chromium, and it covers all desktop platforms. It handles events, painting, layout, and etc. So Views is all about UI in Chromium. Aura is a desktop window manager that interacts with Views framework. Aura is also abstracting window management on Windows and Linux. The next topic is WebUI. New tab page, settings page, and etc. are implemented based on web technology. These UIs are called WebUI. WebUI Explainer explains basic stuff about it. WebUI in Chrome is somewhat similar to the previous document, but worth reading. If you're interested more in renderer side or web engines, it'd be good to read documents in this chapter. The first document would be Life of a Pixel. The document kindly explains how web pages are rendered into pixels from start to the end. And also how Blink works is another great document. It's a little bit deeper than Life of a Pixel, but a good start point. But it would be hard to jump into the source code right away. I suggest you see README in Blink. Most importantly, it explains directory structure and layering in Blink, so it would help you to read source code. If you're interested in V8, which is a JavaScript engine in Chromium, Life of a Script would be a good start point. It explains how JavaScript source code is run by V8 really well. Lastly, documents about contribution. Life of Chromium Developer is a great slide that covers overall flow. But it's old, so commands in the slides could be unused anymore. Contributing to Chromium is more up-to-date document about the contribution process. So please read it through if you're planning to contribute to Chromium. When you write code, don't forget to check coding convention. This document contains coding convention for all languages used in Chromium. In case you're working with C++, you should read modern C++ using Chromium. There are many banned features from standard and alternatives for them. If you have to add new files to the project, please check out GN Quick Guide. GN is a build system used in Chromium, so you'll need this to add new files. That's all. Some of these documents will be covered in my channel. Please leave comment if you have any further questions.